On November 23rd, reports from Military Watch magazine confirmed a remarkable development in modern aerial warfare. The Russian armed forces successfully employed their newest fighter, the Su-30SM2, to strike a Ukrainian MIM-104 Patriot long-range surface-to-air missile system. According to the state arms conglomerate Rostec, this event represents the first confirmed case of a Western long-range air defense system being neutralized by a Russian multirole fighter. The statement highlighted the Su-30SM2's powerful radar, capable of seeing farther and more accurately, as well as its advanced electronic warfare system, which allowed the jet to counter enemy missile attacks. This engagement was not just a tactical success, it was a strategic demonstration that Russian multirole fighters could now threaten high-value Western air defense assets in ways previously considered unlikely. According to open-source reporting and official statements, the strike occurred under conditions of high electronic interference and integrated air defense networks, where Patriot batteries were actively deployed to protect key strategic points. The Su-30SM2 approached at high altitude, leveraging its long-range targeting capabilities, and conducted a precise engagement with guided munitions tailored for high-value air defense suppression. While the Patriot system is capable of detecting and intercepting supersonic aerial targets at long range, the Su-30SM2 reportedly employed a combination of electronic warfare and flight tactics to minimize radar signature and disrupt the system's targeting algorithms. Sources claim that this resulted in the Patriot failing to intercept the aircraft, allowing the Su-30SM2 to launch its attack with precision, culminating in the destruction of the system. This event is particularly notable because Russia traditionally relied on its high-precision ballistic missiles, such as the Iskander M and Kinzhal, to destroy critical air defense installations. Using a manned fighter for this task suggests a new tactical flexibility in Russian operations, expanding the role of multirole aircraft beyond traditional air superiority and ground support missions. To fully understand the significance of this strike, it's important to examine the Su-30SM2's design and capabilities. The aircraft evolved from the Su-30SM, itself an advanced derivative of the Soviet-era Su-27 flanker. The SM2 variant, entering Russian service in 2022, incorporates several critical upgrades. Its N035 Urbis-E Pisa radar allows it to detect low observable stealth target at up to 100 to 120 kilometers and fighter-sized targets at up to 400 kilometers while tracking multiple air and ground threats simultaneously. Unlike older systems, the N035 is highly resistant to jamming and capable of guiding long-range missiles like the R-77 and R-37, giving the pilot exceptional flexibility in engagement. The jet's avionics and electronic warfare suite provide advanced countermeasure capabilities, including radar jamming, decoy generation, and interference with enemy targeting systems. Its AL-41F1S thrust vectoring engines grant superb maneuverability, enabling high G turns while maintaining speed advantage. In terms of armament, this is where the multi-role capability becomes deadly. The Su-30SM2 can carry a vast arsenal, but for this specific mission, we're likely looking at Kh-59MK2, a stealthy turbojet-powered cruise missile with a range of over 280 kilometers. It uses inertial and satellite guidance with a terminal seeker for the final strike. It can be programmed to follow a specific flight path to avoid enemy defenses. Kh-38M, a modular short to medium range missile that can be fitted with laser, thermal, or satellite guidance. UPOB 1500B, a 1,500 kilograms glide bomb. Released from high altitude, it can glide for 40 to 50 kilometers, well outside the range of many short-range air defenses, and strikes with devastating precision and power. The paradigm shift: why Russia used a jet, not a ballistic missile, to destroy the Patriot system. This leads to a critical question. We know Russia has dedicated systems designed specifically to destroy high-value air defenses like the Patriot. The Iskander M ballistic missile and the air-launched Kh-47M2 Kinzhal are hypersonic weapons built to penetrate such shields. They've been used for this purpose before. So why use a multirole fighter? The answer is one of cost, strategy, and tactical elegance. Using a $30 to $40 million Su-30SM2 with a single expensive missile is likely far more cost-effective than launching a multi-million-dollar Kinzhal or Iskander, which are strategic assets in limited supply. But more importantly, it's a demonstration of systemic dominance. A ballistic missile strike is a brute force attack. It relies on speed and kinetic energy to overwhelm the defense. It's a hammer. The Su-30SM2's attack was a surgical scalpel. It used the jet's integrated systems, its sensors, its electronic warfare, its weapons, to outthink and outmaneuver the defense system in its own domain. It proved that Russia's Air Force can not only survive, but actively defeat the most advanced Western air defense systems using a flexible platform that can be retasked for a dozen other missions minutes later. This has profound psychological and operational implications. It forces the enemy to question the integrity of their most trusted shields. So, who flies this machine? The recent batch of Su-30SM2s, as reported, was delivered to the Russian Navy's naval aviation regiments, likely to replace older aircraft in the Baltic and Black Sea fleets. They are also in service with elite units of the Russian aerospace forces. The statement that they have a record of hundreds of destroyed aerial and ground targets may be incorrect and must be viewed as such. However, the core claim of outperforming Western expectations is worth analyzing. Western fighters like the F-16, which Ukraine is now receiving, are exceptional platforms. But they were designed for a different paradigm, one of air superiority, often under the protective umbrella of overwhelming suppression of enemy air defenses capability. The Su-30SM2 was born from a doctrine that assumes it will be operating in a heavily contested, dense integrated air defense system environment. Its combination of extreme range, heavy payload, and a primary focus on integrated electronic warfare gives it a unique edge in a long-term peer-to-peer attritional conflict, like we see in Ukraine. It may not be necessarily better than an F-15EX or a Rafale in a one-on-one dogfight, but in the specific, brutal mission of surviving and striking deep inside a modern SAM network, it has just demonstrated a capability that should make NATO planners take a very long, hard look at their own playbooks. In conclusion, the Su-30SM2's successful strike against a Patriot battery represents a historic milestone in modern aerial combat. For Russia, it validates their latest fighter technology and modernization strategy. For Ukraine and NATO, it demonstrates that even advanced air defense systems can be vulnerable to highly capable multirole aircraft integrated with electronic warfare. Until now, that's all for today, and thanks for watching.